Hey everybody, and welcome back to Mondays with me, Dr. Crystal. I never thought I would do something like this on my channel, but someone asked for it and multiple other people said they would be interested. So here we are. Dr. Crystal, you're scaring me. What are we doing? I, over time, am going to try to react to the entire series of Scrubs. I think it's going to take a very long time. We'll take it day by day, start with season 1, and go from there. If you think this is a great idea and you're excited, let me know in the comments below. If you think this is a terrible idea and you're like, please do not do this, also comment below. I want to gauge the audience here. I make content for you guys. I want to do what you want to see. But for now, we're going to proceed. I actually already did episode 1 a long time ago, and so I'll start a playlist so you guys can check that out if you haven't seen it. But today, we are starting with season 1, episode 2. All right, here goes nothing.
The human brain is remarkable. Once a day for 9 years, I thought that I lost my watch because I can't remember which wrist it's on. And yet, just after 2 weeks, all the little things that...
Those headphones. Oh my gosh, blast from the past.
Roller coasters, holy roller. I got shot down in Southland.
That is not what a heartbeat looks like on screen. So each of those little like squiggly lines, so each time it flashed up there was 3. One of those is 1 heartbeat, and so they were having 3 flash up each time there was a heartbeat. Wrong. But I think he's about to envision something, so maybe it's supposed to be like that.
In California, all along you never loved me, yeah. Until the day that you shut me off. And now when it's over, I hope that you find what you're after, yeah. Spending minute.
If you guys watch TikTok these days, this reminds me of Charlie Puth making songs out of like everything. Yeah, anyways. So what he was doing is called percussion. So you tap, like basically put your one hand on the patient's skin and you tap on it with your other hand and you listen to the sound it makes, and you can kind of hear a difference in sound and tell, like if you're on top of an organ, you can kind of measure how big the liver is. It's a part of the physical exam I would say I don't use frequently, but I've used it.
How you doing? Why is she here all the time?
Just give her a chance, man.
Oh, you want to hit that?
No.
Yeah.
No. She's just a friend, man.
Yeah.
I think it's healthy hanging out with a girl without the ultimate goal of being sex. You know?
I'm not following.
Turk. I do think it's nice to have friends of different genders, but also I think JD wants to be more than friends with her.
She forgot to check out the statics on a patient, and then she gave me attitude about it.
What'd you tell on her or something?
Who's responsible for this?
She is. I don't remember. And why would you automatically assume it was my fault? I mean,
Bad, bad, bad. We are all members of the same medical team. We provide checks and balances for each other, so everyone should be checking on stuff. Everyone should know what's going on with the patient. And so if something was missed, it's everyone's fault. You can't blame somebody. You can't blame the nurse. They have multiple patients. We have multiple patients. We need to help each other out here.
Me, I'm doing better with new people. Like Carla, for instance.
Hey, Bambi, that blonde stick you hang out with, tell her que se cuide la narguita esa, porque si no le voy a tumbar todo el tinte rubio de la cabeza.
You might have to write that down for me.
Can somebody tell me what this means? I don't know Spanish. I heard cabeza. I know that means head, but that's all. That's all I got from that.
Multilobar pneumonia at 31. How much does this guy smoke?
I don't know.
You realize, of course, it's your attention to detail that impresses me most. How many packs a day, genius?
Half a pack?
Oh, I'm sorry. I phrased the question wrong. How many packs a day, really?
11. Now you don't know where I'm coming from. 2 or 3 packs.
Well, let's hear it.
A few things about this. One, how do you have time to smoke 2 to 3 packs of cigarettes a day? But also, it's not fair to assume that he is smoking cigarettes just because he has pneumonia in his 30s. We see patients all the time in student health with pneumonia. These are non-smokers, people who don't use vapes, anything like that. Sometimes it just happens. Just because you have pneumonia and you're young and otherwise healthy does not mean that you are a smoker. Come on, Dr. Cox.
I ordered blood cultures and a high-resolution CT.
Well, what are you looking for?
Cancer.
When you say the word cancer, every person reacts the same way.
Excellent.
Not like that. There it is.
It is difficult sometimes to bring up cancer with patients, but a lot of times that's the big scary thing that we're looking for, that we're trying to rule out. A lot of times when we're ordering a test to look for something like cancer, it doesn't necessarily mean we think you have cancer. It's that we are trying to rule out the worst things. That way we can make sure it's not that, and if it's not, then we can figure out what else is going on.
Great. Dr. Kelso, for the chief of medicine, is there a special way to communicate with the nursing staff that I'm not getting?
Well, sugar won't work because they're already so sweet. Now, listen, Doctor, whatever the hell your name is, you tattled yesterday. I responded. I feel closer to you than ever, really. But the ramifications are yours, so don't try to drag me into your pathetic, whiny little squabble with that god-awful bunch of malcontents. I hope you all kill each other. Have a great day, ladies.
Oh, she is not starting off on the right foot. You don't always have to like everyone you work with, but you have to be respectful. You guys are all working towards the same goal of taking care of patients efficiently and taking care of them well. And you can't do that without each other. Rule number 1 as a resident in the hospital, stay on the good side of the nurses because they're gonna save your butt time and time again. They are the ones with your patients all the time. And when you just start, they know way more about the workings of the hospital than you do. So listen to them, be kind to them, work with them. Don't get on their bad side.
Dr. Cox, I got Will's CT results back. No cancer. So what should I tell him?
I'd open with that.
Right, it's just, he's headed down such a bad road. I thought maybe you and I could talk to him.
Yay, I was worried because this was a TV show that he was going to have cancer, but we good.
Carla, I should have told Dr. Kelso on you.
No, you shouldn't have.
Ah, the comfortable silences.
But thank you for apologizing.
Okay, good.
I just want to make one thing clear.
See, nothing needs to be clear.
I still think you were in the wrong. Checking orthostatics is your job, and I need to know that you're going to take care of it.
Digging her grave.
That's all I'm saying. There.
Look, man, you're a great patient. I like you enough to hope I never see you again. But I promise you, if you keep smoking, you'll be back here. I bet my own life on that.
I'm so proud of JD. This was so good. I think he said at the beginning this is his second week of residency. He's having these important conversations with patients. It's hard sometimes for people to really understand the potential consequences of their actions when it hasn't happened yet. So this guy, he's happy, he doesn't have cancer. Woohoo! I think deep down he probably knows if he keeps smoking, there's a high chance he could end up with cancer, especially at the rate he's smoking at. But sometimes you just need to have that talk with somebody. We always called it in the hospital the come to Jesus talk and have somebody lay it out for you. JD did a great job. I love it.
Hey, baby.
Keep moving, frat boy.
You got it.
Come on. Out with it.
Don't rush me. I mean, you shouldn't be impatient with what I think is the opportunity of a lifetime.
Okay, so I'm gonna go sit down because you're so sexy. My knees are weak.
Really?
She is awesome. So far, favorite character in the series.
Will, the pneumonia patient. I got him to quit smoking.
Forever? Uh-huh. No last one? Because the last ones are better than sex. Trust me, I've had about 1,000 of them.
Done forever. He swore to me. I reached him.
You're having a big day there, Susan.
I was just about to stop this before that happened and say, poor JD. So naive. Like I said, great conversation. Proud of him for that. But You can't be that naive to think that a 3-pack-a-day smoker is just gonna stop on a dime. 1, smoking is super addictive. 2, clearly this guy likes it, and so it's gonna be even harder to stop. What he needed to do after that conversation is to continue on, make a plan with the patient, meet them where they're at, and develop a plan together on how to cut down and eventually stop. And if he's really not ready, then he's not ready. You have to be ready in order to initiate one of these plans. So, lesson learned, JD.
Right, so with Will, I would...
Oh, this woman is just fantastic. I mean, the breasts are probably fake, but by God, those tears are real.
Time for a bold move. I need to know how we're gonna fix this thing with Will.
That was a bold move. He's in the 2nd week of residency. You're gonna turn the TV off on your attending? I can't say I've ever seen it. This is probably one of the first things in the show that's pretty unrealistic, honestly. I just don't see any intern ever doing that. But I think it's cool that they're showing him taking charge and caring for his patient and wanting to do right by his patient.
Peace offering? Look, Turk, I know that I don't always make the best first impression.
Smart. The way to any resident's heart is free food.
Take 2 Turks is needed, applied to sensitive area. Who wrote this?
Okay. She's a great character, but they're all awesome. I love this.
Oh, come on, Carla, give me one good reason why you won't go out with me.
Well, you're a surgeon, so you got the God complex, the cockiness, the whole married to the job thing. You're cute, but you're very, very aware of it. You have no idea what I'm like, so all your feelings for me are coming from down there. But most of all, I'm looking for the real thing, and you're nothing but a little boy who's not used to being told no. So there's a bunch of reasons. Pick your favorite.
She's at it again, and I love this lady. Although she is making sweeping generalizations about surgeons, that is the stereotype. They're not all like that. I've met some really, really great surgeons, but Carla, love her.
Somebody else I have to take care of. I know that watching Will slowly kill himself hurts you too. That's even harder if you don't have anyone to talk about it with. So when I got off work, I figured, I was gonna pick up a few cold ones, right? And then maybe you and I, we'll talk it out. We'll just break the whole thing down, right? What do you say to that?
I gotta agree with Dr. Cox. I'm somebody who likes to leave work at work, and I feel like a lot of times in medicine, that's what you have to do. You cannot let it consume your life, or else you get burnout and you're not there to take care of your patients the next day. So if I get home from work after a long day, especially a hard one, I do not want to talk about anything work related. Heather, also in medicine, my wife, if you don't know, she does like to talk about things. So she wants to talk about all the things that happened in her day and like the things that annoyed her. And me, on the other hand, I just want to kind of forget it happened until I got back the next day, because rehashing it for me just makes me even more exhausted. And so yeah, I'm kind of with Dr. Cox. But I will say, if there was a resident who wanted to talk through something with me, I would talk through it with them. But I would rather not do it like in the evening after work,
I just wanted to say you're out of my doghouse. That was a great catch on that patient with meningococcus.
Well, that actually wasn't me, sir. Carla noticed the rash in his legs.
Well, that's fascinating. You could have fallen back into my good graces, and instead you passed the credit on to a nurse. How noble. I'll tell you what, I'll get the cafeteria staff to write, was it worth it, on a big cake for you.
It was worth it. It's going to be worth it in the future, because she is going to get into the good graces of the nurses. They're going to work together. They're going to make each other look good in the long run, and it's going to be great.
No, I know the couch isn't very deep, but we could move the back cushion and spoon. Hey, you guys, what do you say? Beer and chips in the back.
All right, who's hungry?
Just ignore them. And would you tell me the answer to this question? Do you want to be the big spoon or the little spoon?
Poor JD. He's such a good guy. He's just trying to be nice. And yeah, I feel bad for him.
I was gonna tell you how I busted JD's chops the other day for wanting to be friends with the girl. And now I find it so amazing to see how strong you are, how well you carry yourself, how I'd give anything just to wake up in the morning and watch you read the paper. But instead, I think you should hop off your broom for a second. Try and remember what it was like when you first started here. And give Elliot a break. Because she may be a chore, but she is a good person. Your ass is especially fine today.
Pick me up tomorrow at 7.
She's not the only one can do a speech.
Yes, he got the date. I love it. He gave her a little compliment, and then he gave the attitude right back to her. They're gonna make a great couple. I'm excited.
It turns out we can't save people from themselves, newbie. We just treat them. Treat that kid with a respiratory problem, and when he comes back with cancer, go ahead and treat that too.
Well, thanks for the pick-me-up.
Hey, smokers, drinkers, druggies, fatties, whatever. All I'm saying is that if you keep living and dying on whether or not a person changes, well, you're not going to make it as a doctor, that's all. Now come here and give me a hug. It's okay, come here. Come here. Oh, get out of here.
This was a good lesson. I am really starting to like Dr. Cox. I don't really agree with the initial thing he said because I feel like sometimes people can change, and it's our job, especially like in my job in primary care, to help them figure out how to make that change if they want to and they're ready for it. That being said, you can't base your worth as a doctor on those cases. People have to choose to better themselves on their own, and we can help them and we can give them the tools, but we can't make them do it. So they do have to do it on their own. And if you let every single one of those cases get to you, you're not going to be able to move on to help other people. So important what he said. I hope JD takes it to heart. Good job, Dr. Cox.
I wrote out the pharmacy renewals on all your patients.
Oh, great. Hey, you know what else would be really helpful?
I think the one thing we never stop looking for is acceptance.
Thank you, Carla.
You're welcome.
Acceptance of our own shortcomings.
So when's the baby due?
What baby?
Acceptance that some things are going to be what they're going to be.
I know I said rule number 1 before was to not get in nurses' bad graces, but really rule number 1 is never ask anyone if they're pregnant unless you 100% know they're pregnant. Just don't do it.
This is a strange resort, man. I mean, the wheelchair service is great, but that suite I rented, there's another person in it. And for some reason, the bellhop gave me an enema.
Yeah, he's new here.
So, anything you want to say?
You know it all, man. Still, I hated Will a little. Because thanks to him, I started to look at all the people who are important to me in terms of what will probably kill them. Heart disease, liver disease, somebody choking her. I don't know. Probably stress.
This is actually a really interesting thing. I feel like that happens when you get into medicine. And maybe it doesn't happen to everyone, but like, you know all the things that can happen to people and you see them making these unhealthy decisions and it's people you care about, but again, you cannot change what they decide to do. And so, and you also cannot give unsolicited advice. It's one thing if somebody is coming to see you in clinic and wants your advice. It's another thing when it's just family and friends in your life.
Is there anything else, though?
Nope.
But you wanted to.
Yeah, but you told me not
Geez,
to.
JD, would you be a man? Look, if you can't stick to your convictions, you'll never make it as a doctor. I can't believe your head exploded. If your head explodes, you'll never make it as a doctor. I mean, come on, you look ridiculous.
All right, that's all she wrote. Episode 2, done. I'm excited to continue on with this series. I'm excited to learn more about the characters and these storylines, and I really think this is going to be a lot of fun, so thank you for the suggestion. I won't be exclusively doing these reaction videos, but I am going to try to mix them in with other videos, so I really hope you continue to enjoy them. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a like, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you next time.